Chapter 1. In the autumn of 1986, a cool wind began to blow through the old apartment complex in Busan. The gray concrete buildings had held countless family stories since being constructed in 1963. 3 5-story buildings were arranged in a triangular shape, with a small playground in the center. There sat 6-year-old Kim Soohyun, holding crayons and colored pencils. Soohyun was a quiet child. When other children ran around playing, she sat in a corner drawing. Her hair was cut in a bob, and her small hands were always ready to draw something. Today she was drawing the apartment residence. "Soohyun, what are you drawing?" Her mother, Lee Hyejin, approached carrying a laundry basket. "Mr. Park." Hyejin looked down at her daughter's drawing. It was a typical child's drawing. Mr. Park was depicted with a large head and small body, stick-like arms and legs, but there was something strange. Next to Mr. Park, another figure was drawn. A woman with short brown hair wearing a blue dress with yellow polka dots. There was a purple mark on her arm. "Who is this person?" Hyejin asked. "The lady next to Mr. Park." Hyejin smiled. "Is she Grandpa's friend?" Soohyun shook her head. "No, she's always standing next to Grandpa. She touches Grandpa's shoulder, like this." Soohyun made a touching gesture with her small hand. Hyejin thought it was strange, but considered it the child's imagination. "You drew it beautifully. Let's go up for lunch." That evening, Kim Dae-jung returned from the factory. Dust clung to his work clothes, and fatigue was evident on his face, but he smiled when he saw his daughter. "Dad!" Soohyun ran and hugged him. "My Soohyun, what did you do today?" Dae-jung asked. "I drew pictures. Should I draw you too, Dad?" "Yes, draw me." After dinner, Soohyun began drawing her father's portrait. She drew a large circle with crayon to make a face, and colored the hair black. The eyes were 2 dots. The mouth a smiling curve. It was a typical 6-year-old's drawing, but what Dae-jung and Hyejin noticed was something else. Soohyun was drawing another figure next to her father. A short boy. He wore a red shirt and blue pants, with a green band drawn on his forehead. "Soohyun, who is this boy?" Dae-jung asked. "The boy next to Dad." "There's no one next to Dad?" Dae-jung said with a laugh. Soohyun didn't take her eyes off the drawing. "Yes, there is. He always follows you, Dad. He goes to the factory with you too." Hyejin and Dae-jung looked at each other. Hyejin said, "Soohyun, is he an imaginary friend?" "No, he's really there. Why can't you see him?" Dae-jung felt uncomfortable but laughed it off. "Right. Dad must not have seen him. You drew it beautifully." Chapter 2. Over the next week, Soohyun continued drawing apartment residents. Mr. Choi living on the 4th floor, Grandma Jung on the 2nd floor, Mrs. Kang on the 6th floor. Each drawing was full of childlike innocence. The colors were vibrant, the proportions were off, and the lines were crooked. But all the drawings had something in common. Next to each resident was another figure, and Soohyun described them very specifically. The grandfather next to Grandma Jung wears a gray hat. He limps on his right leg. The girl next to Mrs. Kang wears a pink ribbon. She coughs a lot. The lady next to Mr. Choi has long hair and wears a red necklace around her neck. Hyejin began to worry. Her daughter's imagination was too specific and consistent. One afternoon, she went to see the apartment manager, Jang Mi-suk. Jang Mi-suk was a 58-year-old resolute woman. She had worked at this apartment for over 20 years and knew all the residents. Her small office had old file cabinets and keys hanging on the wall. "Sister Jang, I have something to ask you," Hyejin said. "What is it?" Mi-suk asked while pouring tea. Hyejin took out Soohyun's drawings and showed them. "Soohyun draws the residents, but every time she draws someone else next to them, she describes them so specifically." Mi-suk looked at the drawings one by one. At first, she looked casually, but when she reached Mr. Park's drawing, her expression hardened. When was this drawn?" Mi-suk asked in a trembling voice. "Last week." "Why?" Mi-suk stood and went to the cabinet. She took out an old album and began turning the pages. She stopped at one photo. It was from a summer 1983 apartment event. "Look at this person." Mi-suk pointed at the photo. In the photo, Mr. Park Sang-hoon and his wife Park Young-suk stood together. Young-suk wore a blue dress with yellow polka dots, and there was a large spot on her arm, exactly as Soohyun had drawn. "That's Mr. Park's wife. She passed away from cancer 3 years ago," Mi-suk said quietly. Hyejin froze. "That's impossible. Soohyun has never seen her. We only moved here 2 years ago." "Then how do you explain this?" Mi-suk picked up another drawing. It was of Choi Min-sok. "Look at this person. Long hair with a red necklace." Mi-suk searched through the album again. She found a photo from 1984. Choi Min-seok and his wife were together. His wife had long hair and wore a red coral necklace. That's Mr. Choi's wife. She passed away in a traffic accident 2 years ago. Misuk's voice lowered further. Hyejin's hands began to tremble. This must be a coincidence. Misuk shook her head. Look at the other drawings. They began examining all the drawings. Misuk brought old apartment records, resident lists, and obituaries. As they checked each one, both women's faces grew pale. The man in the gray hat next to Grandma Young was her husband, Young Chol-soo. He died of a heart attack 5 years ago. He had an old injury on his right leg and limped. The girl with the pink ribbon next to Mrs. Kang was her daughter, Kang So-hee. She died of pneumonia at age 5 in 1974. She had a chronic cough. This is impossible, Hyejin whispered. Chapter 3. That night, Hyejin told Daejung everything. At first, Daejung didn't believe it. It's a coincidence. Soohyun must have seen photos somewhere. How? We've never been to these people's homes. Soohyun has never seen photos. Daejung was speechless. He looked at his daughter's drawings again. The boy in the red shirt next to him, the green band on his forehead. What about this boy in my drawing? Daejung asked. Hyejin couldn't answer. Misuk didn't know about that boy either, but they had to find out. The next morning, Daejung went to the factory records office. He requested old accident records from the personnel manager. After hours of searching, he found a file. July 15, 1979. Factory accident. Deceased. Lee Junho, age 10. A photo was attached to the report. Daejung's hand stopped. The boy in the photo wore a red shirt. There was a mark on his forehead from treating a minor injury, a green bandage. Reading the report, Daejung learned about the incident. Lee Junho was a child who lived near the factory. That day, he climbed over the factory fence. An accident occurred while machinery was operating. Daejung had been working in that department at the time. He tried to save the boy, but it was too late. Daejung had felt guilty about that incident for a long time. He tried to forget it. But now his 6-year-old daughter was drawing that boy, a boy who died 7 years ago. That night, Daejung told Hyejin everything. The two were silent for a long time. Our daughter is seeing dead people, Hyejin said in a trembling voice. We're not sure yet. Let's meet with a specialist. Chapter 4. Yoon Ji-hye was a 28-year-old child psychologist. She worked at Busan National University Hospital and specialized in studying unusual behavioral patterns in children. When Hyejin explained the situation over the phone, Ji-hye immediately agreed to meet. Ji-hye's counseling room was bright and warm. Children's drawings hung on the walls, and one side had toys and drawing supplies. Soohyun was cautious at first, but soon became comfortable. Soohyun, would you like to draw with me? Ji-hye asked gently. Soohyun nodded. Ji-hye handed her paper and crayons. Can you draw someone you like? Soohyun began drawing. First, she drew a woman. Long black hair, blue clothes, big smile. It's Mom, Soohyun said. Is there anyone else next to Mom? Ji-hye asked. Soohyun thought for a moment and shook her head. No one is next to Mom. Ji-hye took notes. Then shall we try drawing someone else? Someone who lives in the apartment. Soohyun took out new paper and began drawing. She drew Mr. Park Sang-hoon, and inevitably, she drew a woman in a blue dress next to him. Who is this person? Ji-hye asked. Mr. Park. Who is this person next to him? The lady next to Mr. Park. They're always together. Do you see this lady often? Soohyun nodded. Yes, wherever Grandpa is, she's always there. In the hallway. At the playground, too. Ji-hye probed deeper. What is this lady doing? She looks at Grandpa. Sometimes she touches Grandpa's shoulder. She comes closer when Grandpa is sad. Does Grandpa see this lady? Soohyun shook her head. No. No one can see her. Only me. Ji-hye felt a chill down her spine. Why do you think other people can't see her? Soohyun shrugged. I don't know. She's just visible to me. After the counseling session ended, Ji-hye spoke privately with the parents. Typically, children this age sometimes create imaginary friends, but Soohyun's case is unusual. Her descriptions are too specific and consistent. Then what's the problem? Hyejin asked. Ji-hye spoke cautiously. There are several possibilities. First, Soohyun may have obtained this information somewhere. Photos, conversations, etc. She may be unconsciously remembering it. And, Daejung pressed. Second, Soohyun may have a special sensitivity. Some children sense things that others don't perceive. It's difficult to explain scientifically, but there are documented cases. So you're saying our daughter is really seeing ghosts? Hyejin's voice rose. I can't make that determination yet, but I'd like to do some tests. We need to confirm whether Soohyun has information she couldn't possibly know. Chapter 5. The following week, Jihye visited the apartment. Together with Jang Mi-suk, she gathered more old records and photos. They carefully planned. Jihye decided to show Soohyun various photos. Some were photos of apartment residents, and some were of completely unrelated people. The goal was to see if Soohyun could accurately identify the figures in her drawings. The test was conducted in a small community room near the playground. Soohyun sat in a chair, and Jihye placed a table in front of her. Soohyun, today we're going to play a game. I'll show you photos, and you find if there's anyone you drew. Can you do that? Soohyun nodded. Jihye took out the first set, 5 photos of women. All were in their 60s, all photos from similar eras. Remember the lady next to Mr. Park that you drew? Yes. Is she among these? Soohyun looked at each photo one by one. She stopped her finger at the third photo. This is her. It was a photo of Park Young-suk, taken in 1982. Correct. Jihye took out the next set, photos of boys, all similar ages. Who was the boy next to your dad? Soohyun pointed immediately. This boy. He wore red clothes. He had a hurt place on his forehead. It was a photo of Lee Junho. Daejung watched from behind, swallowing his tears. The test continued. Mr. Choi's wife, Grandpa Jung Cheol-soo, Kang So-hee. Soohyun didn't miss a single one. Of 12 photos, she correctly identified all 12. What was even more surprising came next. Jihye showed photos of people Soohyun hadn't drawn. Are any of these people you've seen? Soohyun looked at the photos and shook her head. I've never seen these people. Jihye tried a different approach. Soohyun, besides us, who else is in this room right now? Soohyun looked around the room. After a moment, she said, There's a grandfather over there by the door. All the adults in the room turned toward the door. There was no one there. What does that grandfather look like? Jihye asked. He's tall. He's wearing blue work clothes. He has a hat on. He's smiling. Mi-suk suddenly stood up. What exact shade of blue are the work clothes? Soohyun rummaged through the crayon box and pulled one out. This color. Mi-suk covered her mouth with her hand. It's Manager Kim. He died of a heart attack in the elevator in 1982. He always wore those blue work clothes. Jihye quickly took notes. Soohyun, why do you think that grandfather is here? Soohyun looked toward where the grandfather supposedly was. I don't know. He's just standing there. He's looking at us. Are you scared? Soohyun shook her head. No. He looks kind. Chapter 6. The rumors spread quickly. Apartment residents began whispering about Soohyun's ability. Some were curious, some were afraid. Park Sang-hoon came to see Hyejin. He held an old album in his trembling hands. Please, let me meet Soohyun. His voice was desperate. Hyejin hesitated. Mr. Park, I want to know if my wife is really there. Please. After consulting with Jihye, Hyejin gave permission. Park Sang-hoon met Soohyun. He knelt down to the child's eye level. Soohyun, can you tell me more about the lady you say is next to me? Soohyun nodded seriously. That lady loves you very much, Grandpa. She's always by your side. What have you seen her do? When you sit alone, she sits next to you. When you look at photos, she looks with you. She rests her head on your shoulder. Tears flowed from Park Sang-hoon's eyes. That's what Young-suk used to do. She always did that. When you cry, Grandpa, the lady is sad too, Soohyun said. Does the lady say anything? Soohyun shook her head. She doesn't speak. She just looks at you. She smiles like this. Soohyun smiled to one side. Park Sang-hoon gasped. The left side smile. Young-suk always smiled only to the left, because the muscles on the right side of her face were weak. He opened the album. Soohyun, can you look at this? The photos contained the married life of Park Sang-hoon and Young-suk, the 1955 wedding, their first child in 1960, moving into the new apartment in 1970. Soohyun stopped at one photo, a summer beach photo from 1978. This is it. She's wearing these clothes, right now. In the photo, Young-suk wore a white blouse and a yellow floral skirt. Park Sang-hoon took a deep breath. Those were her favorite clothes. She wanted to wear them until the day before she passed away. Is there anything you want me to tell Grandpa? Soohyun asked innocently. Park Sang-hoon thought for a long time. Then he said quietly, Young-suk, I'm doing well. I miss you. Very much. Soohyun was quiet for a moment and then said, The lady is smiling. She's nodding her head. Park Sang-hoon began to cry. A 67-year-old man crying out loud in front of a 6-year-old child. Chapter 7. After that day, more residents came. Choi Min-seok asked about his wife. Grandma Jung wanted to know about her husband. Mrs. Kang wanted to hear about her daughter. Hyejin and Daejung faced a dilemma. On one hand, their daughter was giving people comfort. On the other hand, it was too heavy a burden for a 6-year-old child to bear. Ji-hye advised, if Soohyun doesn't find it difficult, she can continue. But we need to watch carefully. If the child finds this ability burdensome or frightening, we must stop. They established rules. Soohyun would meet only one person per day. If she didn't want to, they wouldn't force her. And all conversations would proceed under Ji-hye's supervision. When Choi Min-seok came, he looked tense. His wife had suddenly passed away in a traffic accident 2 years ago. They hadn't been able to say a proper goodbye. Soohyun, what have you seen the person next to me doing? He asked. Soohyun looked at him. No, beyond him. The lady is trying to hold your hand, mister, but she can't. Your hand doesn't reach. Choi Min-seok unconsciously reached out his hand. He grasped at empty air. The lady is trying to say something, Soohyun said. What? Choi Min-seok leaned forward. I can't hear well. The sound is small, but I think she's saying I'm sorry. Choi Min-seok's face contorted. There's nothing to be sorry for. It wasn't your fault. The lady is crying, Soohyun said quietly. She's sad that you're alone. I'm fine. The children are growing up well too, don't worry, Choi Min-seok said toward the empty space. Soohyun was silent for a moment and then said, the lady is smiling. She says thank you. She says she loves you. Choi Min-seok bowed his head. His shoulders shook. Chapter 8. Kang Ji-young was a 42-year-old housewife. She had lost her daughter So-hee in 1974. She was only 5 years old. It was pneumonia. Treatment wasn't as advanced back then. After that, she had 2 more sons. She loved them, but So-hee always remained deep in her heart. When she met Soohyun, she asked in a trembling voice, is my daughter suffering? Soohyun shook her head. No, she's smiling. What is she doing? She's sitting next to you, ma'am. When you cook, she's with you. When you clean, too. Ji-young wiped her tears. So-hee did that. She always followed me around. Mom, what are you doing? Mom, can I help? She would ask like that. She still does that, Soohyun said. When your older brothers come home, she looks at them with you. She looks happy. Does So-hee know her brothers? Soohyun nodded. Yes, she likes her brothers. She wants to play with them. Ji-young cried for a long time, and finally asked, can you tell So-hee that Mom thinks about her every day, that I love her? Soohyun looked to one side and smiled. So-hee knows too. She says she loves you too. Chapter 9. As weeks passed, Soohyun became exhausted. Seeing the dead every day, hearing sad stories, seeing people's tears was too difficult for a young child. One night, Hyejin found her daughter having a nightmare. Soohyun woke up crying. Mom, there are too many. There are too many people. What people? Dead people. They're everywhere I go. In the hallway, at the playground, at school. They all look at me. They know I can see them. Hyejin hugged her daughter tightly. I'm sorry, Soohyun. I'm sorry Mom couldn't protect you. The next day, Hyejin and Daejung had an emergency meeting with Ji-hye. We can't let her do this anymore, Hyejin said firmly. Soohyun is 6 years old. This is too much. Ji-hye agreed. You're right. Soohyun's mental health is the top priority. They announced to the residents. There would be no more meetings with Soohyun. Some understood. Some were disappointed. But the problem was that Soohyun still saw them. She couldn't turn off the ability. Ji-hye suggested a different approach. Soohyun, you may not be able to stop seeing those people, but you can choose whether to talk to them or just pass by. How? Soohyun asked. Remember that they're not your friends. You have no obligation to help them. You can just say hello and pass by. Soohyun tried to understand. It was difficult. She was a good child and wanted to help people, but she also wanted to be a normal child. Chapter 10. As time passed, Soohyun learned to live with her ability. She saw the dead, but she didn't talk to all of them. She lived her life. The apartment changed little by little. Park Sang-hoon seemed more peaceful. He knew his wife was still by his side, and that was comforting. Choi Min-seok started a new relationship. He knew his wife had forgiven him. Kang Ji-young regained her smile. She knew her daughter was at peace, but not everyone accepted it positively. Some residents avoided Soohyun. They considered her ominous. Some parents prevented their children from playing with Soohyun. Soohyun was lonely. Even at school, it was difficult to make friends. Other children whispered that she was strange. One day at the playground, Soohyun was drawing alone. A boy approached. He looked about 7 years old. "What are you drawing?" he asked. Soohyun was surprised. Usually children avoided her. "Just a tree. I like drawing too. Can I draw with you?" Soohyun cautiously nodded. The boy sat down next to her. They drew together. After a while, the boy said, "You're Soohyun, right? I'm Junho." Soohyun smiled. "Hi, Junho. People say strange things about you, that you see ghosts." Soohyun's smile faded. "Yeah, is it true?" Soohyun hesitated whether to answer, and honestly said, "Yes, it's true." Junho thought for a moment and said, "That's amazing. Are you scared?" "Sometimes. I think I'd be scared, but you seem brave." Soohyun was surprised by those words. No one had ever called her brave. "Want to be friends?" Junho asked. Soohyun smiled brightly. "Yes." Chapter 11. When Soohyun turned 7, something new happened. She began to learn how to communicate with the dead, little by little. At first, it was by accident. When she saw Park Young-suk's spirit in the hallway, Soohyun said in a small voice, "Hello." Then Young-suk looked at her, really looked at her, and smiled. "You can see me." Young-suk's voice was faint but audible. Soohyun nodded. "Thank you for watching over Sang-hoon. Grandpa misses you very much." "I know, but we can't be together yet. It's not his time." "When can you be together?" Young-suk smiled sadly. "When the time comes. Until then, I'll wait here." After this conversation, Soohyun began talking to other spirits as well. They all told similar stories. They couldn't leave their loved ones. There was still something left to do. They had to watch over them. Soohyun realized these spirits weren't trapped. They had chosen this, to stay because of love. When she told Jihye about this, Jihye was very interested. "Soohyun, why do you think they don't leave?" "Because they love them. They don't want to leave." "Do they look happy?" Soohyun shook her head. "No, they look sad. But being here seems better than leaving. Do you think you can help them?" "I don't know. How?" Jihye held Soohyun's hand. "By delivering messages, from the living to the dead. Then maybe they can find peace." Chapter 12. Soohyun decided to accept this new role, but this time on her terms. Only one person a day, 3 times a week, and only when she was ready. The first was Manager Kim. His spirit was still wandering the apartment. Soohyun asked him, "Why are you here?" "My work isn't finished," he answered. "What work?" "I have to protect this building. It's what I always did. But Grandpa should rest now." Manager Kim smiled sadly. "I don't know how to rest." Soohyun went to see Misuk. Manager Kim still wants to work. Misuk took a deep breath. Mr. Kim devoted his life to this apartment. He had no family, not many friends. This place was his home. What should I tell him? Misuk thought. Tell him thank you, that we were all safe because of him, that we'll protect this place now, so he can rest comfortably. Soohyun delivered that message to Manager Kim. He was silent for a long time, and then nodded. "Thank you, child." A few days later, Soohyun no longer saw Manager Kim. He had left. The second was Kang So-hee. The little girl's spirit followed her mother around. Soohyun asked her, "Why are you here?" "Mom is sad." So-hee answered, "Mom looks happy because she has your brothers. But she misses me. I saw her cry because of me. If Mom knows you're at peace, she'll be less sad." So-hee hesitated. "But if I leave, Mom will completely forget me." "No, Mom will never forget you, but she'll want you to be happy." Soohyun delivered So-hee's message to Kang Ji-young. So-hee says she wants Mom to be happy. She says don't be sad. So-hee says she's okay. Ji-young cried. "So-hee, Mom will always love you. But I want you to be at peace. I want you to be free. Don't stay tied here because of me." The next time Soohyun saw So-hee, the girl looked brighter, and soon she disappeared as well. Chapter 13. In the spring of 1987, Soohyun turned 8. She still saw the dead, but now she could handle it better. She learned to coexist peacefully with them. There were changes in the apartment. Park Sang-hoon started a new hobby. He began learning calligraphy and volunteered at the local senior center. He still missed his wife, but now he was living life. Choi Min-seok remarried. His new wife was a kind woman who took good care of his children. He didn't forget his first wife, but he could move forward. Kang Ji-young opened a small cafe. She had always loved cooking, and now she could share that passion. On one wall of the cafe hung a photo of So-hee. Soohyun made friends at school. Junho was still her best friend. He knew Soohyun's secret but thought it was special. One day Junho asked, "Do you still see ghosts?" "Yes, always. Aren't you scared?" "I was scared at first, but now I'm used to it. They were people too. They're just dead." "You're really amazing, Soohyun." Soohyun laughed. "Thanks, Junho." Chapter 14. However, not all spirits left peacefully. Some spirits still remained. Their reasons were varied. Park Young-suk was still by her husband's side. When Soohyun asked, she answered, "It's not time yet. He needs me. But Grandpa is doing well now." "I know, but if I leave, he'll be lonely again. I'll stay here a little longer." Soohyun didn't try to persuade her anymore. She learned that not all spirits are ready to leave, and that was okay too. Lee Junho's spirit, who followed Daejung, was still there. Soohyun asked him, "Why do you follow my dad?" "He tried to save me." Junho answered, "He got hurt." "Back then. Dad is sad he couldn't save you." "I know, but it's okay. It wasn't his fault." "Then why are you here?" "I want him to be forgiven. I want him to forgive himself." Soohyun told her father the story. Daejung cried for a long time. "Junho, I'm sorry. I'm really sorry." Soohyun relayed. "Junho says it's okay. He says it's not Dad's fault." But it took time for Daejung to truly forgive himself. Junho's spirit still followed him. Quietly, patiently. Chapter 15. In the fall of 1987, a new family moved into the apartment. Lee Jinwoo and his wife Kim Sunmi, and their son Lee Taeyang. Taeyang was the same age as Soohyun. Taeyang was a lively and curious child. He quickly became friends with Soohyun. "Soohyun, want to play together?" he asked. "Yes, okay." They played at the playground. Taeyang rode the swings, and Soohyun drew next to him. "You always draw," Taeyang said. "Because I like it." "What are you drawing?" Soohyun hesitated. She was drawing Taeyang's family, and inevitably, next to Taeyang was another figure, a young girl, wearing a pink dress with a ribbon in her hair. Just people. Taeyang tried to see the drawing, but Soohyun quickly hid it. A few days later, Soohyun encountered the Lee Jinwoo couple in the hallway. She saw a small girl's spirit behind them. The girl was looking at her parents with a sad face. Soohyun told Hyejin, "Mom, there's a little girl next to Taeyang's family." Hyejin became cautious. "Soohyun, don't tell that family yet. Not yet." "Why?" "They might not be ready." But fate moved differently. One day Taeyang saw Soohyun's drawing, a drawing of his family, and the girl in the pink dress. "Who is this girl?" Taeyang asked. Soohyun was flustered. "Just imagination." But Taeyang took the drawing home. That evening, Jinwoo and Sunmi came to Soohyun's house. Their faces were pale. "Soohyun, can you tell us about the girl in this drawing?" Sunmi asked in a trembling voice. Soohyun looked at her parents. Hyejin nodded. "She's always next to you, Mr. and Ma'am. She wears a pink dress and has a ribbon." Sunmi covered her mouth with her hand. "It's Seoyeon, our daughter." "When was Seoyeon?" Jinwoo asked. 3 years ago. Leukemia." Sunmi sobbed. Soohyun said quietly, "Seoyeon loves Mom and Dad very much. She likes big brother Taeyang too." "Is Seoyeon happy?" Sunmi asked. Soohyun shook her head. "No, she looks sad. She's worried Mom and Dad will forget her." Jinwoo said, "We never forget Seoyeon. We think about her every day. Then please tell Seoyeon that." Soohyun said. Sunmi knelt down and spoke toward the empty space. "Seoyeon, it's Mom. Mom has never forgotten you for a moment. Having Taeyang wasn't to forget you. It was to complete our family. You're part of that family too. Always." "Seoyeon is crying," Soohyun said quietly. "But she's smiling too." Jinwoo asked, "Can you tell Seoyeon that Dad loves her too? That I pray in front of your photo every night?" Soohyun nodded, and after a moment said, "Seoyeon says she knows. She says thank you." After that night, the Lee Jinwoo family grew close to Soohyun's family. They shared the same pain, believing in the invisible. Chapter 16. In the winter of 1988, Soohyun turned 9. Her ability had grown stronger. Now she could hear the spirits' voices more clearly. She could feel their emotions too. On one cold night, Soohyun woke from sleep. Someone seemed to be calling her. She got out of bed and went to the window. Outside in the snowy playground stood a woman, a young woman. She wore a white dress. She was looking up at Soohyun. Soohyun felt fear. This was a spirit she was seeing for the first time, and she was different from other spirits. More intense, more desperate. The next morning, Soohyun told her parents, "I saw a strange woman last night." "Who?" Hyejin asked. "I don't know her. She was standing in the playground." Daejung and Hyejin were worried. What did she look like? Soohyun drew a picture. A young woman with long hair, white dress, sad eyes. Hyejin showed the drawing to Misuk. Misuk's face hardened. This can't be, Misuk whispered. Who is it? It's Han Hyejin. In 1965, in this apartment, she took her own life. Hyejin swallowed. Why? Because she broke up with someone she loved. She had a fiancé, but her family opposed it. The engagement was forcibly broken off, and from the shock, she jumped from the rooftop. That was 23 years ago. Why is she appearing now? Misuk shook her head. I don't know, but this is a different case. That spirit is not at peace. Jihee came urgently. Soohyun, if you see that woman again, don't go near her, understand? Why? Some spirits are angry. Their sadness became so great it turned into rage. Such spirits can be dangerous. But that night, Han Hyejin's spirit appeared again, this time inside Soohyun's room. Soohyun woke up and tried to scream, but her voice wouldn't come out. Hyejin stood by the bed looking down at her. Help me, Hyejin whispered. Her voice was cold and empty. What should I help you with? Soohyun asked in a trembling voice. Tell my story. People need to know. Why I did it. But that was a long time ago. Time doesn't matter. Truth matters. Who should I tell? Hyejin said a name. Lee Sang-chul. He needs to know. Chapter 17. The next day, Misuk searched through old records. She found the name Lee Sang-chul. He was currently 78 years old, living in a different district of Busan. He was Han Hyejin's fiancé, Misuk said. In 1965, their marriage was cancelled, and Hyejin passed away. Sang-chul married another woman after that. Should Soohyun meet that person? Hyejin asked. Jihee spoke carefully. This could be dangerous. But if Hyejin's spirit keeps coming to Soohyun, we may need to resolve it. They contacted Lee Sang-chul. At first he refused, but when he heard Han Hyejin's name, he fell silent. That name, I haven't heard it in 23 years. His voice was old and tired. There's someone who wants to meet you. A few days later, Lee Sang-chul visited the apartment. He was a tall, thin old man. The weight of years was etched on his face. As soon as Soohyun saw him, she felt it. Han Hyejin's spirit was in that room. She was looking at Sang-chul. Her face showed mixed emotions. Love, anger, sadness. Is Hyejin here? Sang-chul asked carefully. Soohyun nodded. Yes, she's standing over there. Sang-chul closed his eyes. Hyejin, I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. Soohyun relayed. Sister Hyejin wants to know why. Why you abandoned her. Sang-chul was silent for a long time and began to tell the story. In 1965, I was a poor student. Hyejin was the daughter of a wealthy family. We loved each other, but her parents opposed. I wasn't good enough. They wanted a better match. And? Soohyun asked. I should have fought for Hyejin, but I was a coward. Her father threatened me, said he would ruin my family. I surrendered. I left without even saying goodbye to Hyejin. Sang-chul's voice trembled, and a week later, I heard the news that she had passed away. Because of me. Because I couldn't protect her. I'll tell you what Sister Hyejin is saying, Soohyun said. She listened to the spirit's voice. She says she forgives you, that you were a victim too, but she wants to know if you've carried that guilt all your life. Sang-chul began to cry. Every day. I thought about it every day. I married another woman, but I never forgot Hyejin. My wife knew too. That part of my heart was forever with someone else. Sister Hyejin says she wanted you to be happy. That's all she wanted. Your happiness. I wasn't happy. How could I be happy? My love died because of me. Soohyun was silent for a moment and said, Sister Hyejin says she wants to leave now, but she can't until you forgive yourself. Sang-chul looked up. How do I forgive myself? By telling the truth. To Sister Hyejin's family. They deserve to know the truth too. Chapter 18. A week later, Lee Sang-chul met Han Hyejin's younger brother. Han Min-jun was currently 60 years old, only 15 when his sister died. Sang-chul told everything. Their love, the family's opposition, his own cowardice, and a lifetime of regret. Min-jun was silent for a long time, and said, Our father regretted that incident for the rest of his life. He passed away a year after losing my sister. Mother couldn't overcome that sadness either. I'm sorry. I'm truly sorry. It's not just your fault. It was all our faults. That era, that society, those prejudices. But the biggest victim was my sister. Min-jun looked at Soohyun. Is my sister really here? Soohyun nodded. Yes. She's standing next to you. She's looking at her brother. Please tell my sister that I haven't forgotten her, that I visit her every year on her death anniversary, that I pray for her peace. Soohyun relayed. Sister Yojin says thank you. She says she loves her brother. That evening, Soohyun saw Han Yojin's spirit for the last time. Yojin no longer looked sad. She was smiling. Thank you, young friend, Yojin whispered. Now I can go. Where are you going? Soohyun asked. Anywhere. To a place without this sadness. And Yojin disappeared. She scattered and vanished like light. Chapter 19. In the spring of 1989, Soohyun turned 10. Over the past few years, she had learned many things. About death, about love, and about forgiveness. The spirits in the apartment changed too. Some left. Some still remained. But all found peace little by little. Park Sang-hoon turned 80. He was still healthy, but his age was showing. One spring morning, he fell asleep peacefully and didn't wake up. At the funeral, Soohyun saw something amazing. Park Sang-hoon's spirit stood beside the coffin, but he wasn't alone. Park Young-suk was holding his hand. The two were finally together. They looked at each other and smiled, and together they walked into the light. Soohyun shed tears, but they weren't tears of sadness. They were tears of joy. Daejung also went through a change. He finally accepted Lee Junho's death and forgave himself. One day he went to find Junho's family and apologized. They forgave him. After that day, Junho's spirit no longer followed Daejung. He was free. Choi Min-seok lived happily with his new wife and new children. His first wife's spirit quietly left. She saw her husband was happy, and that was enough. Kang Ji-young's cafe thrived. She regained her smile. So-hee's spirit left after seeing her mother become truly happy. Chapter 20. In 1990, Soohyun turned 11. She was preparing to enter middle school. Her ability remained, but now she could control it better. One day, Ji-hee came to see Soohyun. She was now 35 and running her own research institute. Soohyun, I want to write a book about you, Ji-hee said. About me? Yes. Your experiences, your ability. Of course I'll change your name, but I think people need to know that death isn't the end, that love continues. Soohyun thought. Then will people think I'm strange? Some people will, but some people will find comfort. People who have lost loved ones. Then it's okay. Write it. Ji-hee smiled. Thank you, Soohyun. You're a truly special child. That night, Soohyun lay in bed looking at the ceiling. She looked back on the past few years, the spirits she met, the messages she delivered, the tears she cried, the smiles she made. She wondered why this ability was given to her, but now she seemed to know the reason. To be a bridge between the living and the dead, to deliver messages of love, to help heal. Soohyun. Hyejin entered the room. Not sleeping? I was thinking. About what? My future. What will I become when I grow up? Hyejin sat next to her daughter. What do you want to be? I don't know, but I want to keep helping people. Like this. Then do that. Whatever you want. Hyejin hugged her daughter. She no longer feared her daughter's ability. Rather, she was proud. Chapter 21. Years passed. Soohyun grew up. She still saw the dead, but it was now part of her life. In 1995, Soohyun turned 16. She was a high school student, contemplating her career path. Junho was still her best friend. They went to school together and dreamed together. Soohyun, what will you study in college? Junho asked. Psychology. I want to be like Dr. Ji-hee. Good. You'll be an excellent psychologist. What about you? I'll study art, drawing. Soohyun laughed. We're both doing creative work. Yeah, you heal hearts, and I create beauty. They were sitting at the playground. The same playground, where Soohyun first began drawing the dead. A lot happened at this playground, right? Junho said. Yes, everything started here. Do you regret it, having this ability? Soohyun thought for a moment. No, it was difficult, but it was meaningful. I helped people. I helped them heal. You're amazing, Soohyun. You always have been. Soohyun blushed. Thanks, Junho. They sat quietly. A comfortable silence. The silence of long friendship. Chapter 22. In 2000, Soohyun turned 21. She was studying psychology in college. Her research topic was death and the grieving process. She still lived in the apartment, with her parents. The building was old, but full of memories. One day, Masuk retired. She had turned 75 and had managed the apartment for over 40 years. At the retirement party, Soohyun approached her. Grandma Jang, thank you for all your hard work. Masuk smiled. It wasn't hard work. This place was my life. I learned a lot thanks to you, Grandma. You taught me a lot too, Soohyun. The importance of invisible things. That night, Soohyun confessed to Masuk. Grandma, actually, there's someone next to you too. Who? Manager Kim. I thought he left long ago, but he came back. To your retirement party. Masuk wasn't surprised. Rather, she smiled. That's like him. He always had a strong sense of responsibility. Should I tell you what he's saying to you? No. It's okay. I'll meet him soon anyway. Soohyun was surprised. What do you mean? I'm old too, Soohyun. I don't have much time left, but it's okay. I lived a good life. Masuk peacefully passed away 3 months later. At the funeral, Soohyun saw her spirit, walking together with manager Kim. Chapter 23. In 2005, Soohyun turned 26. She was pursuing her doctorate and working at a counseling center at the same time. Her specialty was grief counseling, helping people who had lost loved ones. She didn't publicly talk about her ability, but she used it quietly. Some of the people who came for counseling brought the spirits of those they had lost. Soohyun saw them and discreetly delivered messages. Your mother would have been proud of you. Your son would have forgiven you. Your husband would have wanted you to be happy. People were amazed at how accurately she knew, but she just smiled. Junho became an artist. His paintings became famous and were exhibited in various galleries. He often painted Soohyun as a model. One day he asked, Soohyun, shall we get married? Soohyun was surprised. What? I love you. Since we were young. You must have known. Soohyun laughed. I love you too, Junho. Since long ago. They married in the spring of 2006. The wedding was held at a small church near the apartment playground. Many friends and family attended. But Soohyun saw other guests too. Park Sang-hoon and Park Young-suk, smiling and blessing together. Manager Kim and Jang Mi-suk, nodding and congratulating. And countless other spirits, all the spirits she had helped. Thank you, everyone, Soohyun whispered in her heart. Chapter 24. In 2010, Soohyun turned 31. She and Junho had a daughter. Her name was Kim Soohyun. When Soohyun was born, Soohyun worried. Would her daughter have the same ability? Would she have to carry the same burden? But Soohyun was a normal child. She couldn't see the dead. She was just a happy, healthy baby. Soohyun was relieved, and at the same time felt a little lonely. She would have no one to share this ability with, but it was okay. She lived her life. She helped people. She was loved. She was happy. The apartment was redeveloped in 2015. The old building was demolished and a new apartment was built. Soohyun's family moved elsewhere. On the last day, Soohyun walked through the empty apartment. The hallways, stairs, and playground full of memories. She saw the spirits, the last few who hadn't left. They looked at her and smiled. It's time to say goodbye, Soohyun said quietly. We know. One spirit answered. Where will you go? Anywhere. This place is no longer ours. Soohyun wiped her tears. Goodbye, everyone. The spirits began to disappear one by one, into the light, to where they were finally ready to go. The last to remain was a small girl. Soohyun recognized her. Kang So-hee. Why are you still here? Soohyun asked. I wanted to say goodbye to you, So-hee said. To me? Yes, you were the first to see me. You listened to my story. Thank you. Soohyun knelt down to the girl's eye level. You're welcome, So-hee. You can go now. You can be free. So-hee smiled. Be happy too. Take good care of Soohyun. I will. So-hee began to glow, and slowly disappeared. Soohyun was left alone in the empty building. But she wasn't alone. She had memories. The lessons she learned Soohyun was left alone in the empty building. But she wasn't alone. She had memories, the lessons she learned, and the life ahead of her. She walked out of the apartment for the last time. She looked back once. The old building stood there, empty but full of stories. Stories of love, loss, and healing. Thank you, Soohyun whispered, for everything. Epilogue. In 2024, Soohyun turned 45. She was a renowned psychologist and author. Her book, The Invisible Connection, had become a bestseller. Soohyun was 14. She was a smart and kind girl. She knew about her mother's past, and she respected it. One day Soohyun asked, Mom, do you still see them? The dead people? Soohyun nodded. Yes, always. Aren't you scared? I was scared at first, but now I'm used to it. They're not so different from us. They're just in a different state. I wish I could see them too. Soohyun held her daughter's hand. No, Soohyun, you live your life, normally and happily. That's better. But I want to help people like you do, Mom. You can help in different ways. Without this ability, Junho entered the living room. He was now 46 but still looked young. "What are you talking about?" he asked. "Just old stories," Soohyun answered. "Ah, ghost stories?" Junho asked with a laugh. "Yes, ghost stories, and love stories, and healing stories." That night, Soohyun stood alone on the balcony. She looked at the city. Millions of lights, millions of lives, millions of stories, and she saw them, the spirits walking among them, those who had died but hadn't left, those who stayed because of love. She no longer feared them. She understood them. They just wanted to be with the people they loved. "Hello," Soohyun greeted quietly. Some spirits looked at her and nodded. Some smiled. They knew she could see them, and that alone was comforting. Soohyun realized this was her destiny, a bridge between the living and the dead, a witness to love, a tool for healing, and she accepted it. She thought about all the people she had helped over the years, the families who found closure, the spirits who found peace, the love that continued beyond death. Her phone rang. It was a new client, a mother who had lost her son. She wanted counseling. "I'll be there tomorrow," Soohyun said gently. "We'll talk. I'll help you." After hanging up, she looked out at the city again. Somewhere out there, a spirit was waiting to deliver a message, waiting to say goodbye, waiting for peace. And Soohyun would be there, as she always had been, as she always would be, the bridge between two worlds, the messenger of love, the healer of broken hearts. She smiled. Her journey wasn't over. It would never be over. As long as there was love, there would be spirits who couldn't let go. And as long as there were spirits, there would be a need for someone like her, someone who could see, someone who could listen, someone who could help. Junho came to the balcony and wrapped his arms around her. "What are you thinking about?" "About how lucky I am," Soohyun said. "Lucky? Yes. I have this gift. I have you. I have Seojin. I have a purpose." Junho kissed her forehead. "We're the lucky ones to have you." They stood together, looking at the city lights, two living people among millions, and around them, invisible to most, the spirits danced in the night. Soohyun closed her eyes and felt the peace. She had come a long way from that 6-year-old girl drawing in the playground. She had grown, she had learned, she had healed, and she would continue, for as long as she was needed, for as long as love existed, forever.